the Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Tonight, students get a second chance to experience prom.
We'll have that and more coming up. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
There's less than a month until the 2025 VCDC Annual Celebration and Awards Banquet. Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Jacob Pierce.
And I'm Xander Hull. We'll get to that story in a moment, but first, more than 250 workers lost their jobs at a meat processing facility in Yankton. Simple's Meats halted operations after their parent company, American Foods Group, announced Monday that it's closing the plant. An American Foods Group representative says the reason for the closure is that the Yankton location is no longer profitable. Simple's Meats has operated in Yankton for 76 years.
Funding for South Dakota Public Broadcasting will not be cut. Former Governor Kristi Noem proposed a $3.6 million cut to public broadcasting's budget in her December 2024 budget address. The Legislative Appropriations Committee voted unanimously last week to approve the Bureau of Information and Telecommunications budget. This budget includes SDPB's funding for the next fiscal year.
A carbon pipeline developer is suspending their permit application in response to a recently signed South Dakota law. Summit Carbon Solutions filed a motion to suspend their permit application with the South Dakota Public Utilities Commission last week. The decision comes after Governor Larry Roden signed House Bill 1052 earlier this month. The bill would prohibit the exercise of eminent domain for a pipeline that carries carbon oxide. The legislation will go into effect on July 1st. With a little over a week left in South Dakota's 100th legislative session, multiple bills still await Governor Roden's signature. House Bill 1239 would make public schools and libraries create policies allowing people to appeal books to their boards to determine if they're obscene. House Bill 1259 would segregate restrooms in public schools and state-owned facilities by sex assigned at birth. Lastly, Senate Bill 100 would allow college students to conceal carry firearms on the state's university campuses. The bill is opposed by USD President Sheila Gestring and Campus Police Chief Bryant Jackson. Coyote News will continue to track and report on these bills if they're signed into law.
A USD student was appointed as the student representative for the South Dakota Board of Regents. Coyote News' Nadia Castillo is live in the muck with Griffin Peterson. Nadia?
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with Griffin. Griffin, what are some of the issues that have been raised by students? Do you see a lot of them being in the legislative sessions?
I haven't been privy to a lot of conversations so far. My confirmation process has moved very quickly, and so I'm still kind of transitioning into the role and having some conversations with student leaders and leaders at our universities all across South Dakota. So as far as I'm aware, no significant concerns have been raised or been brought up to me, but I'm looking forward to having more conversations with my fellow students and serving as an effective advocate on the board.
Yes, and how many USD representatives, how frequently do you see them in the board as student representatives for the Board of Regents?
In my role, I plan on working pretty closely with our Student Government Association here. I was a member of that organization for quite some time before I eventually transitioned into this new role, and so I really plan on actively engaging with our new SGA administration as well as our Senate and finding the best possible solutions and always keeping the students in mind in every decision that I make on the board.
And you mentioned that you were part of SGA, you were a senator. How do you have to be a part of SGA or a political science major to be a student representative?
There really aren't any prerequisites for the position. Really, whenever the governor's office is looking for a good fit for the job, they look for experiences like student government and other leadership positions where students have distinguished themselves. But really, I would just say anybody who has a knack for representing other individuals is someone who would be a great fit for the job. And I'm happy that they were the one that they ended up going with, and happy to just be stepping up into this role and representing the over 36,000 students that call South Dakota home for college education.
Thank you so much, Griffin. Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Nadia Castillo.
Thanks, Nadia. Peterson has been involved in campus organizations such as SGA, USD College of Republicans, and Lambda Chi Alpha.
Students were given a second chance to experience prom last night. The prom was hosted by Spectrum and the Cultural Wellness Coalition. In past years, Spectrum has hosted a similar event called the Gala. This year, the CWC reached out to Spectrum to express their desire to have an event aimed towards anyone who didn't feel included in their prom either because of COVID, financial issues, or inclusivity reasons. Spectrum President Phoebe Smith says that these types of events are for everyone to enjoy.
Part of why we host our events, right, is to share our culture with everybody, right? Just give everyone a chance to experience the kinds of environments that happen when the group of LGBTQIA people come together.
They walked down the purple carpet and even experienced a 360-degree photo booth. Spectrum's next event is their annual drag show on April 1st.
Students showed off their artistic ability in a crafting event on Monday. The Campus Activities Board hosted a Charmed Creations event where students could create their own charm jewelry. Supplies were provided by CAB and included various chains, links, and charms, as well as tools such as pliers. Participants decided whether they wanted to make a keychain, necklace, or bracelet, and then were allowed to pick up to 5 different charms. CAB will host a safari-themed Stuff a Buddy event next Tuesday while watching the movie Madagascar.
Vermilion Area Chamber and Development Company is hosting ribbon cuttings for 2 town businesses. Dunes Dermatology offers medical, cosmetic, and surgical dermatology care. The business has 4 locations and over 30 years of combined dermatology experience. Dunes Dermatology's ribbon cutting is happening right now at 9 East Main Street. On Friday morning, the Nutrition Den will host their ribbon cutting at 8:30. The Nutrition Den is a smoothie shop that provides shakes, energy teas, and iced coffees. The shop originally opened in 2021. Information about upcoming ribbon cuttings is available on the VCDC's website. Coming up, Midwest high schools perform jazz music. You're watching Coyote News.
What does the group think?
We think a strength is their brand recognition.
This is Zoe, and you're listening to Afternoon Rap on KAOR 91.1 FM. This is my next selection.
Hey Sally, come check this out.
I like it. What if we try this?
We're out.
What did you think of your performance today?
I believe I did well. I achieved what I needed to do for the team. The team actually functioned the way we needed to. We did our 111th and we were able to make plays.
This is Coyote News.
With the arrival of spring, Vermilion and the surrounding areas have been experiencing some drastic changes in weather from day to day. Coyote News' Daniel Hinckley has the story.
Over the past week, Vermilion and the greater Midwest have been subject to dramatic swings in temperature. With temperatures as low as 29 degrees Fahrenheit and highs upwards of 70 degrees, as well as some bouts of snowfall, it can feel like the weather is out of control. Meteorology professor Brennan Jordan says that these fluctuations aren't too far out of the ordinary.
It is somewhat normal. That's sort of easy to forget how much variability we have in especially spring weather and late winter weather in this region, but it is exceptional.
Jordan also says that the bigger issue than the volatile weather is the drought that is ongoing.
You would hope to maybe catch up a bit on the precipitation in winter, but we've had an unusually dry winter. We've had astonishingly little snowfall. And so I think we can expect the droughts to get worse.
For Coyote News, I'm Daniel Hinckley.
Despite the snowfall today, temperatures should return to the 50s in the next few days.
After coming off of a completely sold-out run in 2024, the box office is open for this year's production of the Ron L. Moyer one-act plays. This year's plays are all brand new and all directed by USD students. 3 out of 5 of the plays were even written by students at the university. Tickets are free for USD students, faculty, and staff. There is a cost of $5 for the general public. The plays take place Friday through Sunday. Showtimes take place at 7:30 on Friday and Saturday and at 2 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday.
High school jazz groups were on campus yesterday for the USD Coyote Jazz Festival. The festival began in 1975 and features high school music groups from South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, and Minnesota. Schools performed as either an instrumental or vocal jazz group. Instrumental jazz ensembles performed in the Knutson Theater and Colton Hall, and the vocal jazz groups performed in Alf's Auditorium. Each group received feedback from jazz educators and performers. Placement trophies were awarded in each high school class from Class A to Class 4A. Outstanding Soloist awards were also given out to individual performers. The USD Chamber Singers traveled around the United States for their annual spring tour. We go back to the Muck where Coyote News' Nadia Castillo is with 2 chamber singers. Nadia?
Thanks, Jacob. I'm here with chamber singers Shalakai Sokup and Shaylin Lafferton. Tell me, this tour is done annually. How does it affect the group environment that you have? Does it help the relationship?
Yeah, so we do this annually, and I think it's super helpful. Like, we have a lot of opportunities to spend with each other throughout the year, but it's really on tour that everyone can really branch out and talk to different people they maybe haven't talked to, and that's when our program really starts to come together. So that really helps all of our connections.
Yeah, we just get together and we're on a bus for about a week just straight, and we go to different houses, so we're all just together all of the time. And as Shalakai said, with our program coming together, we know the gist of the tour, but we've never sang it all the way through fully, with knowing the understanding of each piece going into the next one. So our tour is very meaningful to us, and we always end it in the same space in the same church in Sioux Falls. So that's just another thing, I guess.
It seems that as part of your tour, you do some community outreach and sing in schools. How does that help you with your experience?
Yeah, so this year we did a lot of school visits, so we just go into the schools and we sing a couple songs for them, and then if their director wants, they'll sing for us or we'll sing with them, and then it's just a way to kind of outreach for USD, but also show them that singing isn't done after high school, and you can still sing into college and even after college. And then this year we also did singing at a 401k in Mitchell, which was a special needs place for them to stay there, so they didn't have to, be anywhere else, I guess. But yeah, and they loved it. They gave us snacks and we got to sing with them, and it was just a really good time. Yeah.
I was just going to say, it's super cool. Not a lot of people get to have that experience, so being able to inspire groups that don't normally have that is just something super meaningful.
Thank you so much for being here. Live in the Muck for Coyote News, I'm Nadia Castillo.
Thanks, Nadia. The Chamber Singers wrap up their tour with a concert at the Vermilion UCC Church this Saturday night at 7:30.
As gardeners prepare for the upcoming growing season, a local business is helping them get a head start. The Hachoka Indigenous Marketplace hosted a seed starting workshop last Saturday at their business in downtown Vermilion. The event taught participants the basics of germination and soil preparation. Plant lovers and garden enthusiasts walked away with the knowledge and seedlings to kickstart their spring gardens. The marketplace hopes to host another workshop in the near future. Potential future scientists will be traveling to Vermilion this week. This Saturday is the 41st annual South Dakota Science Olympiad Tournament. Students will compete in a series of individual and team events across various science disciplines. The tournament aims to improve science education and spark students' interest in STEM. Division B and C events will last from 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock. The awards ceremony will take place in Alf's Auditorium Saturday night from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. A more detailed schedule can be found on the South Dakota Science Olympiad website.
Registration ends Friday for the annual Yoga Festival at the Wellness Center. The festival takes place this Saturday from 8:30 to 5:30. It'll include hot yoga, meditation, mate Pilates, and yoga history. Lunch is provided and vendors will be available during the lunch session and for breaks. The festival is free to all USD students, but there is a cost for Wellness Center members and non-members.
Tickets are live for the 2025 VCDC Annual Celebration. The banquet recognizes Vermilion Chamber members and the business community. Award nominations are open for people to nominate community members in a variety of award categories. The VCDC Board of Directors will vote on the nominations and winners will be announced at the event. All award nominations are due tomorrow by noon. Nominations are also open for the Volunteer of the Year, which is awarded by the United Way of Vermilion. Nominations for this award are also due tomorrow, but at 5 p.m.
Early registration will open next Monday, March 24th for the spring 2026 semester. Students should meet with their academic advisor to plan their schedule before registering for their classes. Students can register through the registration self-service in the MyUSD portal. Registration for classes will last through April 11th.
Next, on Coyote Sports, the men's basketball team makes conference semifinals in Sioux Falls.
And the women's basketball team plays Oral Roberts in the quarterfinal matchup.
Could I get a triple jelly donut extreme?
They have just left the building.
Tune in weekly to Triple Jelly Donut Extreme to hear three friends host civil debates on the biggest video game topics. Listen in on 91.1 KAOR. Triple Jelly Donut Extreme, a show you won't want to miss.
This is Coyote News.
USD adds another All-America pole vaulter. This is Coyote Sports, and I'm Maggie Bishop.
And I'm Parker Orr. Clara Edwards picks up 2 victories against Wofford, climbing to 21st nationally. South Dakota defeated North Dakota State 85-84 in the quarterfinals before losing to Omaha in the semifinals. Chase Forte and Isaac Bruns led the way for USD, as Forte scored 28 points and Bruns earned his first career double-double with 21 points and 10 rebounds. The Coyotes started slow against the Mavericks, trailing 55-26 at halftime. South Dakota didn't come back in the second half, falling 100-75. USD finished the season 19-14 after going 1-1 in the Summit League tournament. After the tournament, Forte was selected to the NABC Mountain District's second team. After nabbing first team All-Summit League and getting Defensive Player of the Year, Forte continues to receive awards. Forte was one of 4 people to make the All-District teams from the Summit League.
The Coyote women competed in the Summit League tournament at the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. The team played against Oral Roberts in the quarterfinals. Senior Grace Larkins recorded her 30th career double-double, scoring 24 points and grabbing 13 rebounds. Fellow senior Alexi Hempy recorded 11 points and 4 rebounds. The Coyotes ended the season with an 11-20 overall record. The South Dakota softball won 2 of the 3 against Wofford before Summit League play. Delaney White did it again for USD in Game 1, getting a 2-run double as the Coyotes won 2-1. Game 2 against the Terriers shut the South Dakota women down, winning 5-0. USD got the series victory, winning Game 3 8-2 as the Clara Edwards hit double-digit wins on the season. The Coyotes start the conference play with a 17-11 record, set to play North Dakota at home at the first game against Nygaard Field this season.
USD pole vaulter Eric Hammer traveled to Virginia to compete in the NCAA Indoor Championships, taking 9th overall. Coyote News' Nathan Delaney is live in the muck with Hammer, following his performance at Nationals. Nathan?
Thanks, Parker. Eric, with your recent competition, what was your training and preparation like for this competition?
It was mostly just about staying healthy and keeping consistent. Not complicating too much. I think in the past few years I have tried too hard sometimes. But at the end of the day, when it comes to such a complicated sport as pole vaulting, it's really just about simplicity and putting the pieces together at the right time and really timing your physique and your form for the most important meet of the year.
What was the atmosphere like at the Indoor Championships?
It was great. It was electric. The level has never been higher than it was last week. If I jumped as high as I did last week, a few years ago or even last year, I would have placed in the top 5. The entire field was very competitive, but at the same time very supportive of each other. So it was just a nice time and a good vibe to have a little last hurrah for my college career.
With this being your last collegiate meet, what are some of your favorite memories from your time as a Coyote?
I think when it comes to college sports, especially in track and field, it's all about the memories you make with the team. Personally, I would say the most special times were the times we won conference championships with the team. For example, 2023 indoor and 2024 indoor seasons. So, yeah, it was just really special to spend some great time with my teammates and support each other. Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here. Harmer will be facing his eyes to qualify for the next World Championships in Tokyo. Live from the Muck for Coyote News, I'm Nathan Delaney.
Thanks, Nathan. The team kicks off the outdoor season next week.
The USD tennis team kicked off conference play at Omaha. The team would win the doubles point before losing 4 and the 5 singles matches and falling 5-2 to the Mavericks. The team then traveled down to Florida and won 3 straight non-conference matches, beating Fairfield 4-3, Hampton 4-0, and Lamar 4-1. The team resumes conference play this Saturday at Kansas City. Eric Finney and Patrick Makarian are the most recent additions to the football staff. Finney comes to USD from Cincinnati to become the cornerbacks coach. Finney played 3 seasons at the University of Illinois. Makarian coached at the Fresno State last year before coming to South Dakota as the offensive line coach. Makarian has MVFC roots as he played the 2 years at Indiana State.
A handful of basketball players have entered the portal from USD. Carly Duffney already has a new home decided with Green Bay. Former Coyote women's head coach Kayla Carius is head coach at that university. Gabby Wilkie has also entered the portal from the women's team. Chase Forte and Dre Bullock, the first and third leading scorers for South Dakota on the men's side, have entered the portal but are still undecided. Vermillion hosted the Dan Lennon meet in the Dakota Dome on Monday. The Tanagers faced teams from South Dakota and Iowa. 4 athletes finished in the top 10 as Frankie Orr placed 3rd in the 400 and Gage Beverly 4th in the 3,200. In the long jump, Elijah Lara placed 6th and Ian Job 8th. The team competes at the Dakota Dome again at the end of the month.
That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students about influential women. Stay with us.
This is Coyote News.
A Pennsylvania man was caught by TSA officers with a live turtle in his pants. The man, whose name was not released, was going through security at a New Jersey airport when the body scanner alarm went off. The TSA officer then conducted a pat-down on the man and determined there was something concealed in the groin area of his pants. The turtle was about 5 inches long and wrapped in a small blue towel. The incident remains under investigation, and it's unclear if the man will face any charges. Continuing the St. Patrick's Day spirit,
we asked our Instagram followers what they think is the best type of Lucky Charms marshmallow.
I'd have to go with the clover.
I'm going to have to stick with the rainbows. Had it since a kid.
See what they said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rainbows it is. Follow our Instagram page for more weekly polls.
March is Women's History Month.
We ask students to name an influential woman and why they're important to them.
Here's what they had to say.
I'd probably say my mom. She's done a lot for me and helped support me through everything.
I don't know. The first one that just came to my mind is my mom.
Honestly, just like my mom.
I would just say my mom.
My grandma. I'm going to call her now.
My speech teacher from high school, Gina Kane.
Go with the easy route and say my mom. She's very influential.
It has to be my mom.
I would say my mom because she's always been there for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Leslie Nope.
I would say my mom because she's been my biggest supporter and she's always been there for me.
I would say it's my mother.
My mom.
I'd say my mom. She had a kid in college and that really set her back, but she persevered and she provided a great life for me and my siblings.
I would have to say Rosa Parks because she didn't give up that seat.
I'd have to say my mom.
Emily Dickinson. As a poet, I really like her writing and her style of writing, and that has just been like really influential to like what I like to read and how I like to write.
Barker, who would you say?
I'd have to say my grandmother, Joyce. She really taught me responsibility and how to take care for our family.
I'd probably have to say Dr. Van Manen. Out of all the faculty here at USD, I'd say she's had the biggest impact on my life.
I'm going to have to say my mom and my grandma, just because they've both always been there for me when I needed them.
I'm going to have to go with Sheila Gestring since she's just so powerful.
That's all for Coyote News.
Check out the Volant online for news and sports stories.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and for your coverage of USD sports.
Don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates and the weekly poll. Have a great night.